Shopping for a TV used to be easy, but now we've got things like component video, comb filters, high definition. It's a lot more confusing. So here to shed some light on the subject is Editor-in-Chief of Secrets of Home Theater and High Fidelity, John Johnson. John, welcome to the show.
Always a pleasure, Brett.
Thank you. Glad to have you here because there's a lot going on in the world of television, especially with high definition. And you walk into the TV stores and it's just walls of televisions.
And they're always turned up too bright.
Yes, exactly. And you never know which one to get. So, well, let's start. Let's just dive right in and start, because I'm watching this one because I'm standing over here and I can see it so clearly. And this is from Zenith, and it's got a really nice picture on it, and it's not too big.
It's a digital television, and it will show high-definition images.
Okay.
And I asked Zenith to send me these two models to point out a couple of things. One is that you can still buy TVs in the 4:3 aspect ratio.
Okay.
4 units wide by 3 units high.
Okay.
But it will show high-definition images.
All right.
And the way it will be shown, if you tune into a high-def program, 16:9, it'll be letterboxed like this.
All right, so kind of like when you watch the widescreen version of a movie on a DVD, it's going to sort of do that.
High-definition programs will be letterboxed on this TV, but not on that one.
Okay. And now, but the nice thing about that is that you can still watch old television channels. Old, I say old, but I mean standard definition television channels.
Right.
Will still show up on a TV like this.
That's right.
Okay.
It will show all the formats, including the standard TV programs that we're watching now, plus the high-definition programs that are broadcast or over cable or satellite.
Okay. Do you need a special box for that? Like I see Comcast now has high-definition channels as part of their lineup on just regular cable. Do you need any kind of converter to make the Zenith work?
Well, the first high-definition TVs that came out, you needed the high-definition converter box.
Okay.
But the newer models have the converter built in, so all you have to do is just plug in your cable right to the back of the TV and it'll do the rest.
It'll do it all for you. All right, and and what's the price on something like this?
Well, this one is only $7.99, so high def has definitely come down.
Yeah, I mean, last time we looked at high definition, it was well over $1,000, so that's nice. Now, this one here, this is a lot bigger. This is, kind of living room or entertainment room size. But as Kat was pointing out, if you stand over here, you kind of can't see it. That's because it's a projection television.
Well, it's because it's a projection television, but it's also because you have all these studio lights.
Okay.
And this points out a couple of things. One is if you're going to put your TV in a room that has a lot of light in it, like a sunroom or something like that, then get what's called the direct view type, where you're actually looking at the front of the picture tube.
Okay.
This is a rear projection TV, which means the projection system is in the bottom of the TV, projects onto the surface of a mirror, and then that's reflected onto this projection screen. And this also has a very glossy surface.
Right, so I can actually see the reflection of everything in the studio.
So if you're using a TV like this, then you'll at least need to pull the shades down.
Okay.
And this is also a high-definition unit.
All right, and would this be considered 16:9?
This is 16:9, which means it's 16 units wide by 9 units high. It could be inches, meters, centimeters, or whatever. And this is a 50-inch model. And you have to remember that when you're buying a TV or you're seeing them advertised and it says 50 inches, that means 50 inches diagonal. It does not mean 50 inches wide.
Okay.
So if you're measuring a spot and you say, okay, we can put a 50-inch TV in there, and it's 50 inches wide, and you go buy a 50-inch TV, they're talking about the diagonal. It's not going to fit.
Oh, that's a good thing to know. A little physics come into play when you're buying
geometry.
Or geometry. A class I didn't do well in. Now, the thing that's funny about this is if you're watching at home and you're looking at this image thinking, it's perfectly bright, it surprisingly does look very bright on the TV screen. But if you really kind of have to be down at this aspect to see that from where we are right
Basically, the shinier the surface of the TV, the more fall off you're going to have to the sides.
Okay. And fall off, that's what you mean when you stand here and you can't.
When you stand off to the side, you can't see it very well.
Okay. Let's move down now, because we also have this. This is a projector, which pretty much means TV goes wherever you want it. Right.
This is a digital projection TV that I got from projectorpeople.com. They lent it to me for the show, and it turned out to be so nice. This is actually JJ's pick of the week.
Nice.
It's $19.99.
Okay.
And you could even just use a flat white painted wall to project the image on. You could have a 10-foot image when you're watching your movies. And it's so light, you can pick it up with one hand.
Okay.
Just set it on a coffee table, turn it on, focus, plug in your DVD player, and you're watching movies for the evening.
That is fantastic. We mentioned this $19.99. What was the price on the big?
This is $16.99.
Oh, so that's not bad. That's not as much as I thought it would be.
No.
I was thinking something like that would be like $2,500.
Well, when HD TVs first came out, you were talking $5,000 to $10,000.
That's true.
So to get something that's digital and will handle high def that's less than $1,000, like this smaller Zenith over here, that's it's time to buy.
Yeah. What we wanted to talk about connections, because this is this has a whole different host of connection options for it, and these are very similar to what we would see on the backs of the other two Zenith models.
That's correct.
So we should go through that, because this is important, because the way you connect to things will affect the image quality.
That's right. Now this is called composite video, and you just want to forget that even exists. That's your old style TV, and it's there in case you have an old type of source, like from a VHS VCR, for example. That would plug in here. But if you have a DVD player, it's likely to have one of these on the back, which is called S-Video.
All right.
Now, the brightness and the color are carried separately, and that will give you a tremendously improved picture quality over the composite video. And here's an S-Video plug.
Right. These almost look like computer cables, because they are.
Right. Now, but the best one, and it's likely that you will find these on any modern DVD player, is called component video. The red, the green, and the blue are all carried separately.
Okay.
Now, so if you have a DVD player with component video outputs, you plug it into here, and you'll need 3 cables.
Can they be any cable, or should they be nice cables?
Well, I got these from Nordos, and they're flat, so you can actually put something like this under the rug if your projector's across the room. And that's called an RCA plug, and that just goes right in here and here and here. You need 3 of them for component video. So you just buy
and they
a
don't
set
need
of
to
3.
be the same color.
No, but if you buy a set of component video cables, they will be red, green, and blue, so that you'll know what you've got at both ends.
Right, because I guess the last thing you'd want to do is plug the green into the red and vice versa. That might...
You'd know you'd made a mistake, though.
Might look a little screwy. Now, this also has what looks like connectors that you'd use for a computer. This one actually says PC, and this one is DVI.
You can plug your computer in here and play video games if you like.
Oh, that would be fun.
On a 10-foot screen, which is kind of nice.
Might be nauseating.
But this is the coolest one here. This is called DVI, Digital Visual Interface, and that's the newest type of connector. And this is the plug. And they're showing up now on DVD players and on TVs. Now, what this allows you to do is send a digital signal from the DVD player to the TV instead of having it to be converted to analog first.
Right.
So this is going to give you a new plateau of picture quality.
Wow. So there's no, I mean, from the disc is digital all the way into your display, no loss in quality.
Right. But this is the neatest connector I want to show you. This is called HDMI, which is developed by Silicon Technology, located here in the Bay Area, along with some consumer electronics companies. And what this will allow you to do is send not only the digital video signal, but up to 9 channels of high-resolution digital audio.
Wow. That's going to be a nice home theater setup.
Fortunately, these 2 connectors are pin-for-pin compatible. The only thing you were missing if you buy a TV with just this connector is you can't send digital audio. So you still have to use your stereo audio cables.
Okay.
But since most people are doing their audio through their home theater receivers, it's not really an important issue.
Excellent. But that's going to be the highest quality, and these sort of connectors, you can look for them on new equipment.
Coming out this fall, you're going to find DVD players and satellite boxes and TVs with this HDMI connector on there, and it'll transmit up to 5 gigabits per second. So uncompressed, high-definition digital video.
Excellent. So it sounds like if you've been waiting to buy a new television because you want this high-definition thing to take off, your wait is over. Your options are available.
It's time to buy.
Excellent. John, thanks for joining us today with all that information.
Thanks so much for having me.
No problem.